Right. Today is July 13th, 2026, and this is my session. Um, Real quick, I just want to go over, well, let's start with P&L. We're up 592 before commissions. I want to quickly go through and just do basic tags here. So all the minis will be continuation, all the micros will be reversal. You can see I had 16 trades today, and they were of a pretty promising quality. We did run into a little bit of trouble at the beginning of the session, but towards the end, we really came out ahead. So let's just filter P&L real quick for continuations. Continuations alone up 437. Reversals up 155. A rare day where I'm up on both strategies, because these strategies are in principle inverse of each other. So a lot of days I will be red on one strategy but green on another, with the intent being that my wins outweigh my losses. But today was a rare day where I managed to get P&L out of both strategies pretty reliably, I might add. A couple observations from today. My first trades aren't until 9:54. I waited. Um, there were a lot of there was a lot of P&L volatility before 9:54 on a separate trade account, which I won't go into too much detail with, just because I want to focus on what I'm doing right here. Um, when I say other trading account, it could be an account that is already close to being blown that I don't really care about, which isn't a great habit. I shouldn't be doing that. That is something else I need to address in my reviews. Or they are sim trades, or they are pulse checks. But for the sake of keeping this review simple, let's just start at 9:54 when I placed my first trade on this account, my main account. Um, so right off the bat, I can see that this is a pretty nice area for a continuation. We have a sharp move down into a liquidity grab. We breach the low of the opening range on a pretty decent amount of selling. So we've got a lot of balance above us. We're starting to curve upwards, putting in higher lows, higher highs, and we've got nice slip ranges on the right, you can see here. So this is trade number one. We have a pretty decent defense down here at 95s. This is also the low of the current slip range. You can see high, low, high, low. And I think I take the trade somewhere around here. Yeah, 95.50. Um, Maybe a little quick on the entry. I should have waited a little bit more for that confirmation of right side of the V. However, this is a really nice slip range, and this is the third test of the slip range lows. So I have a lot of confidence in a trade like this, where I am willing to set a resting order and wait for it to come down and fill me, because the chances of it breaching lower and heading back lower and stopping me out, while it isn't zero, nothing is ever 100% win rate, the chances of it doing that are low according to my strategy. Um, it looks like I take the trade off up here in the upper half. I actually try to take it off at 97 for a 6 tick win, but it doesn't fill and it actually jumps higher. I flat key it and I'm out at 98 for a nice 2.5 point win. This will be Green Star. I'm even going to screenshot this one as a very nice example of a good continuation trade. B flush liquidity grab. We're making higher lows, higher highs on green heat map candles. We've got some nice defense areas. There are a fair bit of buyers here with, again, slip range lows acting as a kind of support resistance. Easy trade. I'll paste that one in there. Trade number 2 is also a win, continuation long. Mm. I'm not crazy about it here, so let's back up 5 seconds. I'm also sitting right back down, so I probably haven't seen the setup clearly. I'm not crazy about taking the trade right at this instance, because there's not a huge support down here. There's a nice 26 lot, a nice 28 lot, a couple 25s below us, but there's also like a 17, 27, 53. It's pretty mixed. This is like a C setup right here at this exact point in time. However, I like the larger context. We're still making higher highs, higher lows. We're accepting back into the previous range. The heat map on the medium time frame is pretty solid green. We also got some decent amount of bids coming in on the bid offer heat map. Um, this is the kind of trade I want to see develop. I want to see confirmation that we're on the right side of the V, and it looks like that right now. We got some fresh bids hitting. They are appearing to defend the low of this range, and I think that's where I put the trade on 97.75. And just a very easy, quick scalp. I love those easy, quick scalps. Let's turn the quality up a little bit here so my screenshots are better. Easy screenshot. Boom. Uptrend. V flush. Some green trend here, which I like. Some slip range here, which I like. And I'm on the right side of the V, which helps. Boom. 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 And that's it. There's not much else that goes into a trade like that. I do need to take these better, actually. Hold on. So, entry good, exit good. This was a continuation, conservative scalp, slip favor, clear. Factor support, I had V flush on the backside. I had trend favor because we're accepting upwards. I had a high node. And that's pretty much it. I will even copy the tags, paste them in there because it is essentially the exact same trade. Green star. Next one is a continuation long, and I take a 2-tick loss, it looks like. And yeah, I'm not crazy about this one. There is a decent defense here, but there's no really exceptional high nodes. It's all pretty balanced, especially above us. We got that 85 lot above us. I would call this a C setup, maybe. I also don't like that we put in a pretty aggressive high, and now we seem to be grinding lower. You get these lower lows here. I would have much rather preferred the trade down here at 650. So let's fast forward and see if that 650 trade would have worked. No, it wouldn't have. And to be fair, by the time it gets to 650, I don't think this is a good setup either, because again, we're still grinding lower. We've got a change in character on the medium time frame heat map as well as the large time frame heat map. We're starting to put in red candles for the first time, and we're grinding lower. I don't think I would have taken this setup. I'm gonna red star this one. I don't think it was worth the attempt here. Market read in between. This is a pretty aggressive scalp, slip mid. Next one is a reversal, and I take a pretty hefty loss on it. I was accidentally oversized on this one. I don't hate this reversal trade. You won't see my execution because it's on the DOM. But we get a super volatile move down. We've got a pretty decent amount of balance above us. However, there's still so much more below us. I don't think I should have taken the trade here. Pretty bright red on the heat map, and sometimes I like to fade those, which is why I'm entering this trade. We got some pretty decent bids here. We've got a big 305 lot. In hindsight, I should only be taking this reversal trade if we're above that 305 buyer. Because right now he's trapped, and I take the trade down here, and I get stopped out pretty quick. I should have waited until there was a sign that we were staying above him. So this will be red star. Again, this is an aggressive hold. There was no slip range. I'm in between on my market read. I might even in between because this does eventually pull back up. I did have reclaim. I'm not going to tag balance though. Yeah, and I think that's a decent enough job of tagging it. Next one is also a reversal trade, and it looks like a try to of the top one. But again, look, we're not staying above that big buyer. We need to sustain above him before I take a long. So this is going to be another red star. Copy tags, paste tags, red star. We'll try two. Another reversal long, and it looks like a try three of the same setup, and it doesn't work. So again, paste tags, red star, try three. This is a try four of the same setup, and it works, but only for $22, whereas I've already taken 100 excuse me, $150 worth of drawdown on it. So this will be paste tags, red star, try 3 plus. Next trade is a continuation long. I take a $100 hit on it. I'm too early. I can tell you that right now. I'm way too early. We're still in a downtrend. It's a steady selling downtrend. There could potentially be a change in character going on here, but that would be a reversal. And I think what's happening is I'm exhausted from trying the reversal. Now I think I see a continuation, but guess what? This isn't continuation. This is a downtrend. So I take the trade there. This is technically a reversal. I'm even going to tag this as a reversal. Red star. I should not have taken this. This was an aggressive hold even. Actually, my intent was scalp. I would have scalped this. I would have taken it at the top of the slip range. There's kind of a slip range here. I'll go ahead and tag it. I'm confused at this point. But I'm going to put try 3 plus because I think this is just me trying again on the same setup I've already taken a million times. This one is a reversal long, and I actually do get a decent trade out of it. I think what's happening here is we finally are exhausted down here. We're getting some bright reds. It's not going any lower. It's in fact actually starting to curve back up. But I still don't love it. There's nothing standing out to me about this trade. So even though it is a win, I'm gonna red star it. Yeah. Try 3 plus because I'm still attempting the same setup. All right. Now we've got a little bit of breathing room. Now we are finally starting to curve back upwards. We're getting a nice solid blue profile on the open interest. I'm still not crazy about this trade, even though it works. I take a little bit of drawdown on it. I like what's going on the open interest. We are getting a really decent support. We are slowly starting to grind upwards. On the very smallest time frame, we did make a higher high, technically. I still just think it's too early, in my opinion. Get the top of the slip range out of it. So I'm going to yellow. Fuck. I really don't know how to tag this one. If I might play devil's advocate here, we're accepting above the moving average. I think that is a pretty decent sign of a reversal. We do have a lot of buying coming in on the delta. We're pretty bid heavy on the heat map. We do have a change in character candle back here, so I'm gonna go ahead and green star it. Just because I do think I do have a good read on the market. I did have slip favor, but I'm gonna tag it as an aggressive scalp. Entry early. I should have waited, honestly. My exit's pretty good. Factors of support. We are in a bigger range on the higher time frame, so I'll do range favor on that one. I do have some pretty good high nodes. We do have reclaim favor above us. A little bit of balance favor above too, so I'll go ahead and put that on there. Yeah, I'm not crazy about it though. Trade 11 is $87 profit on a long continuation. Now we're really in continuation territory. I really like this trend. Um, we set up a pretty tight slip range up here with a good high node support below. We have multiple layers of high node support below us, which kind of helps the trade work better. Um, yeah, I like this one. I think it's pretty good. See where my exit ends up being. Nice. I get the little micro breakout there. I'll go ahead and screenshot that. So really nice high node right here. I get the bottom of the slip range. We have some supporting high node below us. We are starting to put in a nice trend on mostly bids, which I like. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Decent setup quality, not amazing by any means, but definitely good enough. So we'll green star that one. Um, didn't really. I guess I did have reclaim favor. There is a nice little bit of reclaim right there. No balance favor though. We are pretty extended. I will go ahead and say trend favor though. Not necessarily just because of price action, but look at this delta trend. That is a smooth trend of buying all the way up. I've got high node support, entry good, exit good, slip favor, conservative scalp, clear market read. Next one, continuation long. Looks like we have the same slip range. So it pulls back, tests 250, and almost immediately goes in my favor, it looks like. Yeah, that is a smooth trade. Again, I'm on the left side of the V here, but it's a historical slip range. Like this is an established slip range in my opinion. And it's like the path of least resistance is up, so I have a high amount of confidence putting a resting order hit in here near the low of a slip range and just catching the slip range. I think that is a pretty good trade. Let's go ahead and screenshot it. We got the big old support below us. Big old support below us. We are still trending upwards on mostly bids. And we do have this nice little change in character right here. Change in character. As well as the delta trend. All right, paste that in there. Green star, trend favor, high node, entry good, exit good, conservative scalp, slip favor, clear. Continuation long. Next trade, I take, or sorry, actually, this is a reversal. So reversal long, and I take a hit on it. So this was news. I think Trump came out and said that they are going to blockade the Strait of Hormuz and charge a 20% tax on any vessels. Market did not like that. So we get this huge move down. I impulsively try a long here on the micros. It doesn't work. So let's just right off the bat, let's go ahead and red star that one. Red star reversal. Aggressive, no slip range, confused. The next trade, however, about 60 seconds later, is also a reversal long. We get a nice change in character here on the medium time frame because we put in a bright red candle, bright red candle, bright red candle. This one's dark red, and even a little bit of green on the high end. Huge seller comes in. I want to see him get trapped. I think I do enter a little prematurely somewhere around here. Um, I will even go ahead and screenshot my entry. So my entry was probably right around here, I think, 85 even. My entry. Reversal long. Um, Huge trapped seller. So huge trapped seller. I want to see him be underwater essentially. And there was a little bit of heat. I did take a little bit of heat on this first initial move down, but then we do ultimately come back up, and that seller is trapped, and he stays trapped. We also have a change in character right here. Change in character. Um, Massive reclaim above. Balance above. And we also came down and tested the lows once. I really don't want to buy the first move down, but when we came down and tested it a second time and held, that gives me a lot more confirmation. Again, nothing's 100% win rate. That doesn't mean this is going to be a winning trade, but this is the trigger. This is the entry trigger here, is this huge trapped seller. And that's what motivates me to take this trade. There's also kind of a slip range developing down here. Boom, boom, boom. Slip range. I am granted at the high end of the slip range. That's probably why I take a little bit of heat down here. But you'll see that this slip range actually breaks out to the high. Let's see here. I'll paste the entry. And then where's the exit? Exit time 10:24:57. 10:24:57. 10:24:57, and at 599. 599. My memory's so bad. What time was that? 10:24:57. 10:24:57. 24:57. So right around here. My exit. So just to give a little recap here. My entry was right here around 85. My exit was right here. So, and that's a pretty decent amount of P&L. I get pretty much the whole reclaim. But the reason I wanted out here at 99, you can see there's a huge swath of former selling up here. And I wanted to get out around that area. And that was a very decent trade anyways. And there's honestly not a whole lot of context I can put in other than maybe um, slip range above a slip range. Range above a range. We're range stacking into the reclaim. Reclaim. So yeah, I think that's it. Just a solid little trade there. So I'm gonna go ahead and green star this one. I really liked this one as far as reversals go. I might even do a trapped or a E plus. Squeeze because we had a trapped seller, reclaim advantage, balance advantage. Not technically high node because it wasn't supporting. However, we did get a really nice fee flush. Uh, Multiple extra support. Let's throw that on. Is there anything else that I'm forgetting? No, I think that's it. Entry good, exit good. I don't really see any problem with that. This was a pretty aggressive hold. Slip against. My market read was clear. And I think that's it, honestly. Yeah, good enough. These next two trades actually occur while I'm still in that other trade, but I'm scalping on the way up. So I'm scalping around my primary position. You can see we have a really strong trend, really strong high node below us. It is a slip range that's been tested multiple times. It's super thin in the middle. In hindsight, I think I could have got a little bit more out of this. No, that was pretty much perfect execution. So staying conservative, even in hindsight, I'm like, oh, I could have pushed it longer, but actually, I shouldn't have. I think this was a perfect exit. Boom, huge high node support right there. We are at the bottom of a slip range that's been tested multiple times. I'm on the right side of the V. I'm even going to write that here. Right side of the V. And we are still uptrending, still uptrending. We've got balance above. Yeah, excellent continuation trade. I like this one a lot. Paste, upload. Green star, high node, balance favor. We V flushed. Entry good, exit good. Conservative scalp, slip favor clear. Yeah, and that's it. Last trade of the day, long continuation. This one is kind of in the mid of the slip range, but I'm on the right side of the V. We did defend the lower end. I only take this off for 3 ticks, but I do think it actually goes much higher. So I should have held this one a little bit longer. Ideal exit. Got good high node support down here. This range was tested multiple times to the low side. Right side of the V. slip range. And I'm still uptrending on mostly bids, by the way. Balance above. And that's it. Paste, upload, tags. I had reclaim favor, balance favor. I had high node favor, deflush, sweet multiple factors of support. I would also start to call this a trend. I think we're trending up. Entry good, hold more. So this will actually be a yellow star. Should have held this longer. Conservative scalp, slip favor. Actually, I was slip mid. Let's penalize myself a little bit. I was slip mid. Market read, clear. And that's it. Those are all my trades from today. Things I need to improve on. I'm still taking rapid fire losses when I get too excited. Like I was really gunning for this reversal long earlier in the session. And even granted, my size is a lot smaller today. These are 2 lots micro. Last week I was trading 5 lots micro. So on one hand, I am aware of the fact that this is not an environment for reversal trades. As I discussed last week, that doesn't mean they won't happen. It just means the win rate is much lower. The expected value is much lower because we're not getting that super fast whippy action. If I'm going to hold a trade in low volatility, I'm probably going to be holding it for a long time. And the one reversal trade that really did work today, I was in it for 6 minutes and 38 seconds, which is way longer than I usually stay in trades for. So that just rings even more true that we're technically in low volatility. It's gonna take a while for those big hold trades to work, which means that I need to lean into what is working. And today, clearly, continuation trades were working. I did get one really good reversal trade to work, but that's kind of an exception, and it was on a very volatile price movement. Like I said, it was Trump news, a Trump tweet news that came out that I was able to leverage that trade. But for the rest of the days on a normal day, I need to lean into what's working. And earlier in the session, I was not doing that. I was rapid fire shooting these reversal trades out, and it adds up, man. Even on 2 lot micros, I'm taking $50 losses. Those add up quick. Last week, I was taking $125 losses, and those add up even quicker. But the lesson still sticks. If reversals aren't working, don't just keep clicking buttons. Take a break, lay off the gas on the reversal trades and just wait and watch and watch for what's happening. Another thing I want to address is what I said earlier in the session is that I did really bad trading earlier on my other account. And that's because I came right out of the gates. It's a Monday morning. I haven't traded in over a week. I was on vacation last week and I was just clicking buttons. And I can't be doing that. I can't be trading that aggressively off the open. So a rule that I did actually implement for myself 2 weeks ago that I ignored today is don't trade the first 10 minutes. Just wait. All my best trades occur after the first 10 minutes. This was after the first 30 minutes almost. So I don't want to think that because I'm not trading the first 30 minutes or the first 10 minutes that I'm going to miss opportunities. The opportunities are always going to be there no matter what. And I just want to take a minute to really absorb what I'm about to say. I believe in myself and I believe in my system and that I have edge. I do. It is clear at this point that this strategy, these 2 strategies that I've developed and the tools that I'm using to trade these systems, they are working. It's my psychology that's shooting me in the foot. If I just stick to this system, it will work. That doesn't mean that the edge might decay over time. The edge of trading ES futures might decay over time. I should always be developing new systems and discovering new strategies, but I shouldn't be hopping. Hopping between strategies is over for me. This is what works for me, and I'm gonna keep this, and I'm gonna refine it, and in 1 year, 2 years, 5 years from now, I want to still be trading this system or at least a variation of it because it's working. Having days where reversals are working and continuations aren't, and vice versa, is a good system to have. It's diversification. I'm diversifying a portfolio of trading strategies. Um, and I need to embrace that and trust it and believe in myself and believe in my system. Um, and when I go on these hot streaks of losers where I'm just clicking buttons and reattempting trades all the time, that's a lack of belief in myself. And I start to doubt myself and I doubt my system. And I just need to trust the process. Wait for the first 10 minutes of the open, get a good pulse check on what's going on with the market. What kind of day are we looking at? Is it going to potentially be a range day, a trend day? Which pulse checks are working better than others? What is the order flow telling me? What's the price action telling me? Where's the VIX? Stuff like that. It's just that's not going to come to me by trading the first 10 minutes of the open. It's just not. And maybe once in a while I get really good trades off the open, but those are outliers, let me tell you. I'm not going to do it now, but we can go back and look at my trade history, and trading right off the open is never a good thing for me. So wait those first 10 minutes. Just wait and observe. And at the very least, if you're missing trades in the first 10 minutes, at least you're practicing patience. It's like going to the gym. Your brain and your emotions are a muscle that need to be exercised, just like at the gym. And by waiting those first 10 minutes, I'm getting repetitions. I'm exercising that patience muscle, that patience reflex. And I just need to keep doing that. I just need to keep being patient, wait those first 10 minutes, and then see where we're at as far as price action and order flow and things like that. Because I'm still in an area where I'm vulnerable to tilt. Tilt comes so easily and it just washes over me. Not necessarily anger. It's actually the opposite of anger. It's despair and just like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. And I give up and I just start clicking buttons. And I'm like, oh, what's the point of having this account? I could just buy a new one. It's the opposite of anger. It's just despair and depression that takes over me. And the only way I'm going to overcome that isn't by brute force and telling myself to be more disciplined next time. It's by avoiding those triggers. And a big trigger for me right now is when I jump in unprepared and I take a loss and I just start to get so desperate um, and doubtful. I have doubts in myself. And if I'm patient and I wait the first 10 minutes and then I come in prepared and I have a read on the market, that's when my confidence and my read are sky high. And I know I can do this and I have confidence in my system. By jumping the gun and going in way too hot, way too quick, it has the exact opposite effect. It just kills my confidence. So that's gonna be my one takeaway from today. I don't want to overcomplicate it. I don't want to overanalyze. Just don't trade the first 10 minutes. That's what I'm going to do tomorrow, and hopefully my review tomorrow reflects that.